Hi, what's up, everybody? You guys are listening to the latest episode of the Low Expectations Podcast. My name is Isabel Galindo.
Oh, Marusi. I'm like, do we introduce you?
And today we are with two special guests. We have with us...
Juli.
We have Juli.
Yes. And Mirella.
And we have Mirella. Today is a special episode because we have two guests with us. Something that I never thought that we were going to do until
today.
Until 2 hours ago.
Yeah. 2 hours ago? Boy, please.
I feel like we've been here for 5 hours.
Yeah, we always... Yeah.
I feel like I got here at 8. It's like 11. About
yeah,
12.
we say we meet up at 8 to record at 11. I just
we
don't
said
know where
9,
the time goes.
and now it's 11.
Oh, shit.
Well, anyways, I know we have been gone for a couple of weeks, but now we are back.
Yes.
We haven't recorded in a while, but now here we are, episode 9, and we actually have something to celebrate. We reached 100 downloads on audio podcasts.
I was like, what do we have to celebrate?
I thought it was somebody's birthday.
Yeah, I was like, holy, what am I missing?
Oh my god, no.
Like somebody pregnant?
We reached 100 each on YouTube and our audio players. Something that I did not expect for us to reach this soon.
Yay. I didn't know that.
That's cool. Oh, and a lot of people from the UK are listening. What's up with that?
Yeah, strangely enough, we have a lot of international listeners. We checked the stats and we have everywhere except for South America.
Yeah, what's up with that, guys? People in South America, what the fuck?
Why are you saying what's up like that? Like the people from South America are even listening right now.
Yeah, they're not
to
even
us,
listening. We saw this.
But as you.
Oh, guys, today Mirella's from Brazil.
South America, tune in.
For real, we're trying to
tell your cousins.
we're trying to cater to the South Americans.
That's because you gotta hit all 7 continents.
For real.
That's
We're
our
almost
next
there.
thing.
So today on our Instagram and Twitter, we asked you guys what your craziest
Your craziest
your
stories.
sloppiest.
Your sloppiest party
stories were.
And our two guests right here actually answered. And so they're gonna delve in about that really quick. Who wants to go first?
I mean, y'all are the hosts. Y'all choose who wants to go first, and then I guess we can go from there.
I feel like you guys should go first.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know.
No, I feel like since you guys are the guests, you guys got
Our very first guest.
I feel like Mirella maybe should go first because mine's is up now. But I mean, I think mine might be a little. I can break the ice very uncomfortably.
Holy.
Very uncomfortably.
Do it. Break the ice uncomfortably.
Break it.
The slop. Well, there have been many sloppy stories.
Too many sloppies.
Many sloppies, and they're all gross. And I feel like this is just not. I don't know. Rusi has an idea. Let's go, and then we can work into mine because
I'll just say I could share plenty, so I'll say a few throughout. So the first one, just to ease in, this one time that I got super fucking drunk in your car, and we were outside of Pana at 1 a.m, and I threw up on myself. And those guys were staring at me. Juli.
Oh, this was my car?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Morella's car.
No,
we've been in too many sloppy situations.
Yeah, we've been in too many sloppy.
We went to Bana once?
Yeah. You were getting me food, bitch.
Was I in high school?
Yeah. Wait, no.
No, because I gotta think about it. We were in college? This was recent?
No.
Oh, shit.
Never mind. This happened recently.
No, are you serious?
Recently, it was 2 weeks ago.
Are you wait? Because
that was literally yesterday.
I'm no, you have to tell me now because I don't remember.
Yeah, no, I ruined my skirt because I threw up on it. It was a white skirt and I don't have white shit.
What? I don't remember you wearing.
It was a white skirt with an orange and white tank top. It was stripes. It was a crop tank top.
Girl,
I threw up on myself.
I'm you've thrown up on my car on the highway.
Yeah.
I'm you need to give me more specific details because I
Puke and rally. But that's my story. That's how I'm starting.
That's how you're starting?
Yeah, just, a little throw up. Nothing crazy.
Everybody's stoned up drunk.
Crazy.
It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
you
My
know,
pants.
don't be ashamed. Oh, hold up.
I
You
pooped
just
my pants.
slightly said that same.
I pooped in my
wait.
pants.
You pooped your pants?
I'm like, we've been over this. I know I've said this before. So we had a Friendsgiving. Does everybody remember the Friendsgiving?
Which one?
Oh.
We have only had one
Bro.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah, we
You
only had
fucking
one.
passed out because you were
I
drunk
didn't
before
pass
we ate.
out.
No, Abel.
Arusi's
did.
talking about
okay,
me
I
right
was
now.
like,
Yeah.
That was
That's
the
why
first
he
one
doesn't
to pass
remember.
out.
I
Yeah.
100% did pass out.
But fucking okay, Mirella was there and Lucy was there. Lucy's a friend of ours, and she
My
made
babe.
your girlfriend, yeah.
Okay.
And she seasoned the steak. I'm just hella garlic. It was good as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
It. Like she fucked
was
it up, you know.
Good as fuck. I'm just not used to like. I just have like a Colombian sazon. I don't know, but whatever. She fucking drenched that shit in garlic. It was good as fuck. And then everybody left. I was fucked up. And then in the middle of the night, I felt like I had a fart and I pooped in my pants. And I had to take a shower after that. And that's not the sloppiest. I've had worse. Like not.
But
poop
like you
stories.
had drank before. You were talking about the steak, but you had drank before, you know.
There have been.
This is
I've
the
drank a lot of
sloppiest drunk.
times that
was
did
your-
not make me shit my pants. First of all, don't say that like it's a
No,
like
but
it's
I'm
a
saying
precursor.
this is the sloppiest, drunk story. So.
Okay, no, yeah, because that's a gross
You
drunk story.
forgot
Because I've been sloppy as fuck before, and I hate that this is like my first encounter on a podcast, and I'm saying about like poop, but
Girl, last episode all
Tag
about
her.
Oh, yeah?
Everything we talked about last episode was shitting.
bet okay, I'm like I pooped my pants, and I was
Disgusting.
like 20 years old.
Wow.
It's
When
Why-
I was
yeah,
in the
you're still
third
20. I don't know what you said.
About her
earlier.
20. Well, I'm yeah.
I had a dream last night about shitting myself, and I woke up horrified that I shat
Yummy.
myself. I did not,
you woke
but
up
the
feeling
good.
good.
Relax.
relieved, but it was a strange dream because I shat myself so much, like not even once, like 7 times, and I woke up in like a
Whoa.
fear, like I
What
was
did you
sweating.
eat?
What did I eat last night? I didn't eat. That's the thing. I didn't have a dinner last night.
Interesting.
I love how the three of I was like that's interesting piece of information.
That's a little dream interpretation. If anybody out there wants to do that, it's like, oh, it was like, get their little book. Oh, this is what shitting yourself 7 times mean. You're terrified of. I don't know.
What about you, Mirella? What's your sloppiest?
I'm like, you
My
gotta tell my
sloppiest?
poop story, please. Like,
What do you mean you gotta tell? You're the one that shat.
I
you,
know I
you
shat
tell
myself.
your poop
Exactly.
story.
Somebody has to say something more embarrassing because that's disgusting.
Yeah, I feel like honestly you won. Like shatting is, but like I've had like worse moments too.
Like Huli
Oh.
came in strong with a shitty
Mine
story.
are like it's just sad. Like straight up like I like blackout, sloppy,
Oh,
sad.
oh,
Like,
oh,
it's just terrible.
Your 21st birthday was my first time getting
I
blackout
didn't even remember
drunk.
that.
No, wait, I have a story. Hold up, because all I remember from that night, I was blackout drunk in Key West, and all I remember is me, Arusi, and Mirella in the bathroom. Mirella's like taking a shit on the toilet, and like Arusi and I are like crying, having this deep ass conversation. Mirella's like shitting on the toilet. She's
Dude,
like, yeah.
I literally was just like, okay, so they were in the bathroom and they were probably like having like their talk or whatever. I'm like, guys, I really need to come in. Like, please just open the door. And then like whatever, I did my stuff. And then I see like Juli and I do see crying. It's like emotional moment. I'm like there, like trying to just concentrate and like focus.
But I feel like I was making, because the thing is like I was blackout. All I remember is like being
That
on
is
the floor in
pretty
the
funny.
bathroom, and
That's
Mirella's like
pretty funny.
sitting down, and I'm like making eye contact with Mirella and making eye contact with Arusi, and I was like crying to Arusi, and she was crying to me, and then Mirella's just like,
I'm just
yes,
yeah.
yes, but like on the
Yeah.
toilet.
See, and I do have memory of that scenario, but very faint. Like when you tell me, I'm like, yes, that did happen 100%. But before, no thoughts.
I'm so sad I missed out on that.
I think that was
messy
not the sloppiest, but the drunkest I've
Messy.
ever gotten. Not being sloppy. I was
I was not sloppy
negative
at all.
sloppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Except the morning after.
oh, that's another story.
That's another story.
Yeah.
I was throwing the fuck up for the like 4-hour car ride. We had to stop at the fucking gas station, and not only was I shitting my brains out, but I was throwing up in a fucking bag as well, like simultaneously.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, but it was really fun.
I'm glad because that trip to Key West was only supposed to be like what, like 2 days?
No, it was one day.
One
and
day?
Then, like, we got too drunk.
2 day, one night.
No, because that day
Yeah.
I was drinking the whole day. Nobody else was drinking. We were just like bike riding through Key West. I was like sipping on like a pack of
riding,
White Claws.
drinking.
And somebody was like, "Hey, what if we stay another day?" And I was just like, "Bet." Like I'll call out of work. Like I don't call out of work. And I was like, "Yeah, like I can't go. Like I have problems."
No, even when we got home, I kept throwing the fuck up. So I actually like made a little bed in the bathroom because I was so tired and I was like so dehydrated. Like everything, I was throwing up. I like low-key went to sleep there, played a few TikToks just in case. I was like right there, ready.
Oh my god.
Girl, I got too lit.
I've never been blackout drunk in my life until
Blacked
like your
out.
21st birthday was like actually insane. Like I never.
I
Like
can't count the
blacked
times
out,
I've
but
been
still
blacked out
like
drunk.
yeah.
I've been blackouts one too many times.
It was like blacked. We were blacked out, but we were still like doing.
We went swimming.
Yes!
Had conversations
No, because the thing is that I remember being butt ass naked in the bathroom, and Rusi was there with me, and then we were like butt ass naked taking a shower together, and that's all like. It's just the bar, the pool, me being butt ass naked in a bathroom, and then the next morning, like that's all I remember.
I think I was taking a shower first, but you needed to take a shit, and then you wanted to take a shower too, and then I was like, "Come on in."
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm like, you have seen me butt ass naked, you just don't remember.
No, I remember.
Ah, shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm like a bell.
My sloppy ass stories. I don't know. I think I have two. Both of them might be mixed together, but this was a time where I threw a lot of parties at my house, specifically whenever my parents were gone. And I think, I don't know if they both happened at the same night, but I do remember breaking a lot of glass that wasn't supposed to be broken. And I also remember tipping my little sofa a lot of times when it shouldn't have been tipped over. But I don't think you guys were there for that. I think it was just me and a couple of other friends. But I do remember when Juli and Arusi were at my house for a specific party. Unfortunately, Mirella wasn't there. It's heartbreaking. It's tears me up at night every single time I sleep. But I remember breaking way too many glasses that night, and I remember waking up extremely early, stressed out, having to clean because my parents were flying in that day specifically.
Damn, and like we didn't even stay to because I remember I was fucked up that night, and like we went home.
Fucked up too.
Yeah, because I brought you there, and I feel like I got fucked up, so I was like, we gotta go home. Sorry, I didn't help you clean up.
We gotta leave.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I cried in the kitchen.
I cried. I cried like on this.
Yeah.
in, like the bath. I don't know. Every time I get drunk, I cry. I don't know what that's about, but
You don't know what that's about?
I haven't uncovered that with my therapist yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
You're dead.
Me too. Don't worry. Remember, Low Expectations is a pro therapist podcast.
True. Pro mental health
I just got a therapist.
and mental awareness. How is that? How has that been?
It has been great. You know how I'm going to try to figure out an analogy real quick. You know how my entire life it's kind of been like this? When you're driving, yeah, I know. The fucking if you're watching YouTube, no, don't worry. I can hold it.
No.
If you're watching our video right now,
fucking
our
put
stand
it.
just fucking broke. No, I can hold it.
You can't. That should be clacking.
That's fine. Let me just. Anyways, we are a pro therapist podcast. I recently got a therapist this week. The analogy that what am I going to say? So my entire life, I felt like I should have gotten a therapist, but it wasn't until recently that I actually did. You know how when you're driving and like the little light shows up, it's like, oh, your right front tire is low on air pressure. You should fill it up, right?
Okay.
I decide to ignore that, and the next morning I wake up and all four of my tires are flat and my engine is flooded, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should take my car in. That's how I feel about therapy. I feel like enough shit has happened that maybe I should go see a professional.
That's fair. That's a good response. That's a good response.
When my life is in tatters and flames.
Yeah, just see a therapist.
Yeah. I could like have a whole like episode on a therapist on how like you should really have one and how it benefits you.
We might, if you guys want to see Mirella come back,
Whoa.
we'll have a little therapy episode.
Everybody should have a therapist.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly
100%.
truly believe every single person should have a therapist. Like, you don't need to be like psychologically fucked up. I just feel like it's like it's like
Yeah.
you learn so much from yourself from it.
And to like vent for like stupid shit.
Yeah.
And you
Not
should-
stupid shit,
No,
but
like, it
like
matters.
yeah.
Yeah. But like still, like somebody's like you're paying somebody to listen to you, and it's like I don't know,
you are paying someone
you
to
are
listen to
paying
you.
somebody to listen to you. I don't know.
shit. Y'all gonna pay me later.
Oh shit! True.
This is
Wait,
my
what's
therapy,
out?
just going through this podcast and airing out all my
It
shit.
really is though. Like it could be a therapy session.
It could be.
It could be.
Anyways, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with you guys with the second segment. Not even
This
second segment.
podcast is sponsored by Adam and Eve.
By
This
honey.
podcast, this podcast is sponsored by
If
whoever
you
the
put
fuck
the
wants
code
us to
in
give us money.
Low expectations, you will have 20%.
I beg any sponsors who might be listening to us, I am bleeding money from this, please. I am desperate. And we are back with this latest episode of the Low Expectations podcast. I don't know where to go from
I
there.
was like, I didn't know if you were expecting for me to say something because you just fucking.
I absolutely have no
We took a
expectations of
short
anything
break,
ever.
but we're back.
Our namesake, Low Expectations. We do not expect anything at all.
I'm
Please
like
do not expect
10 times more
anything.
fucked up. Like
More fucked up than when we took the break.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, that's fair.
Anyways, we decided to take this
Anyways.
segment to continue talking about therapy. We have two people with us right now who stated that they have extensive talking points about therapy. I don't know who wants to go first, whether Mirella or Juli.
Yeah, Juli, you want to like take the...
Oh my god.
You used to work with mental health care in
You
FIU.
did at... Exactly.
I'm like no
Y'all,
because I
y'all
could.
putting my girl on the spot.
Yeah, I'm like who because this. Whoa, hold on, because we can give the whole spiel about like I
Right.
can literally give like an unbiased opinion, or do you want like? Personal?
I want your biased opinion. Nobody comes here for unbiased opinions. This is the hard-hitting,
Bias.
opinionated
Yeah.
statements.
All right. Okay, whatever. My take is that literally every person should see a mental health professional at least once in their life. Because honestly, everybody has so much trauma. Like even like the littlest, like you don't have to go through like the like things that we think are like super traumatic. Like everything is trauma. Like we are just bundles of our experiences, and I feel like like literally going to a therapist, like they make you see things that you never thought you would have seen before, and it's a really, I don't know if anybody's like in that like self-awareness type of thing, because I'm going through this thing where I'm like, oh, I want to know more about myself, so I feel like therapy really helps with that. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that.
No, yeah, I'm going through therapy right now. Something that I didn't expect to happen. Or not that I didn't expect to happen, I didn't expect it to happen so soon. Especially after like making like 20 fucking calls to different offices and like finally settling on like
true.
an app online. But I do think that everybody should go to a therapist. I think that there are certain things that an unbiased third party opinion can give you more clarity than like your friends or like people who know you and things like that.
Yeah. I feel like when you try to vent to your friends or your family, they're always going to have a biased opinion. And, like, once you vent to a complete stranger, they make you see different perspectives of the same scenario to make you have a greater intake on what's going on.
No, yeah, for real. Like, I always felt like my entire life, I've always just been like, oh, like, because how do I put this? Like what you said with the perspectives thing, it's like everybody has a different perspective. When you have like an unbiased person telling you what their perspective is, you kind of get a better grasp on the situation, because like my entire life I've been like, oh, like I'm a piece of shit, like I do everything wrong, because it's always been my perspective, and it's always just been like this one single like vision of my life, until like I started going to a therapist and they're like, that wasn't your fault, or like you're not crazy for thinking that, or like that shit, that it, I don't know, it helps you see things from an unbiased opinion, so I feel like it's helpful.
Yeah. I feel like I had like a completely different experience. Calm down, sir. Jesus. I feel like I had a completely different experience in therapy, mainly because I wasn't able to like choose my therapist, and I feel like that's really important when you're looking for a therapist. But like if you financially can't, then like whatever, do with what you got. I don't know. Like I do believe in therapy, obviously, because that's gonna be my fucking like line of work as a clinical psychologist. But yeah, I think more so it's important to like find the right therapist, because like when I went, it just wasn't it. But also I guess like for me, I was too self-aware within, like in itself that's a problem, like that's an issue. But they didn't like see it as an issue. So then that was like a disservice for me in my therapy like experience. So
And therapy isn't like a lifelong sentence. You don't have to like start up and like see through it for like the rest of your life. Sometimes you can like take like pauses, things like that. Maybe you feel good for a couple of months and then you take a break. It's like kind of like set into practice what everything that they told you.
yeah, like after a while, like it's like weird like to fire your therapist, but there comes a time when you do, just because you're in a better place. And it's such like a weird talk because they're so happy for you, but like you've already built a relationship with them, and it's kind of awkward that you're not going to see them on a weekly basis. Or at least I felt that way. I was kind of just like, hey Sarah, like I don't need you anymore. But
Peace
thank
out, Sarah.
you. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like different. How do I like? I feel like they're. I was listening to one podcast and they were basically like,
What the fuck? But you don't listen to ours?
You know what? I'm going to take a second. I'm going to
God.
stare into the camera right now. We have two guests who've never heard our podcast before. And you know what?
Not entirely. I heard some minutes of your
Minutes.
an episode.
The only
I heard
time
exactly 30 seconds.
the only time you're going to hear these two people again is once they've listened to one whole episode and they come back to me and explain to me which one.
No.
But anyways,
like an in-depth, like fucking personal, like.
I want like a
analysis.
book report. We're going
God.
middle school. I
Minimum
want,
3 pages. Like,
Absolutely.
You need to not
Can't be double
spaced.
spaced.
And I'm gonna defend myself because I know them personally, and I only
Right.
listen to podcasts. I told them this like 5 hours ago. I only listen to podcasts when I work out. That is a safe space. I feel like if I put them on while I'm like working out, it's like they're there with me.
All the
And
time.
I'm just like, fuck.
Because
Like
I feel like
need-
we hang out like
exactly.
Yeah.
So
a
like I
bunch of-
need
you know.
exactly. So like my
Yeah.
workout time is like my safe
Right,
space. Like I
right.
need straight. Like if I'm gonna listen to strangers, like I've debated. I'm like I'm gonna listen to their podcast, but I'm like no.
You don't want me to put you to sleep?
No, but like shit.
Anyways, you were listening to a podcast.
Yes, I was listening to a podcast and like because like I've always been very like advocative for mental health, and this one girl, I think it was like her name is Gina Darling, and she like streams and shit, and she was saying that like she went to like her most recent therapist has like this rule that she only sees clients for like I think like a 2-month span, because her whole like philosophy is like you don't need therapy forever. Like it's kind of just like this like framework where she's like gonna help you in a certain way, but it's not like you're gonna keep coming to her for like years and years and years. And I've never heard of like a therapist like that. Like most people that I've heard going to therapy, they're just like, oh, I've been going to my therapist for like a year or so, and I've never heard of anybody be like, oh, my therapist said like 2 months. I mean, I understand that some people need it for longer, but I thought it was like a really cool idea that some like therapists, some people that studied psychology are like, nah, like we're gonna have this thing because like therapy is like it's not supposed to cure you, it's supposed to give you like a framework to where you're supposed to go. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel like no, that's like pretty cool. It just definitely depends on like what you're working with,
Yeah.
like what disorders like you're working with. I feel because like with some, I feel like yeah, it's more of a longer thing because it's more of a lifetime like. You know,
It's something you always have to deal with when it comes to like disorders.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like ones that like really do affect like your personality and like just like the intensity of it.
Yeah.
I guess so. When it's like crazy intense, then I feel like it's more of a long term commitment.
Yeah, more than like 2 months. I feel like that's like
Yeah.
super little for like if you're trying to.
It just depends what you're there for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just
Yeah.
it depends because like some people like I feel like if you have like a psychotic disorder, if you have like a personality
Yeah.
disorder, like that's different.
Yeah,
like if you're
for
you know
sure.
so I feel like that takes more
Yeah,
time.
but like if you're trying to just talk to someone about like
Life
like,
changes.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I the first time I went to a therapist, I didn't like her at all. Like because I was like I've never really had health insurance, so I've kind of had to always pay out of pocket. So like I went to like this one therapist who she was a grad student, I think, and like she did the best that she could, but like it wasn't what I needed. So like I ghosted my therapist. Like I literally ghosted my therapist, and like that's crazy. Like
Happens, it happens.
and no, because like the first time I talked to her, she was like, and because I was like 16, she was always like, I need your parents need to know
Right.
about this, and I was just
Yeah.
like, nah, man. Like, I get that it's like they're like that's the thing, but like I did not fuck with her.
Yeah, like I feel like ghosting people in general. Like I feel like
I've ghosted so many, bitch. I've ghosted
no,
so
I was
many.
just like trying to
I've
like
ghosted my
pinpoint out.
therapist,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on top of like all the other people. I've ghosted my therapist, like
Exactly. Like I feel like when you ghost someone, like even your therapist, that's like a lot. It's just because you can't like deal with all that like conversation, like why you're gonna ghost her. Like it's just too much emotional issues on why you
therapist
can't
already knows, like,
handle
everything
talking
going
to
on.
that person that you might like just like fuck it, like I don't want to like deal with this uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah. Rather just like if nobody brings it up.
Right.
I
That's
made
fair.
like a whole ass elaborate lie because I made a whole ass lie. I was like I'm moving out of state, like my
To your
dad-
therapist?
on a voicemail, on a fucking voicemail, and she didn't even like because the thing is like we would leave each other voicemails, and one day I was like, hey, blah blah blah. I
I'm, like,
can't really
moving
come to like any
sporadically.
other therapy sessions because financially, like my dad he lost it. Like I literally made the most elaborate lie to ghost my therapist, and then she sent me a voicemail back, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't really hear what you said. Can you like call me so we can talk about it? Like talk about it." And I never called her back.
I'm dead.
Like never.
That's
again.
like
got
100% ghosting actually.
I literally have never heard of her again. I don't know.
Yeah.
No. I'm like one of my therapists, like she was white, no offense to her.
Oh my god.
We're not gonna hold it against her.
We're not gonna
yeah.
hold it against her. She did the best. But a lot of my issues were like non-white people issues.
Sometimes you need a
Please
therapist that relates
elaborate
to
on that.
or elaborate on what your non-white issues.
Yeah.
No, it's like she just doesn't get family dynamics
Yeah.
and like just like differences that like, you know, the culture.
Yeah, sometimes
not
you do.
white.
Sometimes you do need a therapist that understands like a cultural.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to like break up with her, low key.
Break up
She
with her.
wasn't doing anything for me. Love her, but like I was scaring her. Like it's not that I was scaring her, but I would say something, then she'd be like, "Oh wow, Julia didn't write that in the folder." Then she'd like scribble, and I'm like, "Girl, it's not that serious." Julia knew it wasn't that serious, but she'd freak the fuck out, and she was just so textbook. God bless her, Sarah, if you're out there.
Shout out to Sarah.
Damn, we dropping names.
Absolutely.
I was like avoiding it, like Adriana.
Oh, wait,
Is that the therapist you
Daniela,
ghosted?
I love
the
you,
first one, I
Daniela.
love you. You really did the best you could. Like I was gone.
No, bro, the one therapist that I actually liked, I don't even remember her name because it was like a chill sesh. I would just come in the morning, like before like classes at like FIU.
This was when you saw somebody at NSU, right?
No, I just said FIU.
Oh, my bad.
This man not listening to me.
I'm just mixing up 5 different stories that you've told me before.
For real. No, she was just cool as fuck. I don't even know her name because I literally just went there to chill. I was just like, hey girl, like what's up with you? And then she'd be like, oh, you know, nothing. And then she'd just like low-key tell me her schedule and I'd be like, yo, that's crazy. And then I'd tell her my shit. And then, yeah, I'm like, the thing is like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was about to go on another tangent about something else.
Go
and I
on
was
another
like,
tangent.
holy fuck, no. I'm like, this is now my experience with therapy.
Why not?
Because I, like, proposed the problem. I'm like, okay, this is wrong. And then I'm like, but I know I'm only feeling this way because of this. So I probably should react this way, but, like, I want to do this. But, like, I'm not going to do it because that's too crazy.
So you planned out your reactions to your therapist.
I would just tell her, like, when I tell her the problem, I'm like, but wait a minute. And then I explain everything. She's like, yeah, you got it down.
Like, you would just answer your own question.
Yeah, and then she'd just be like, yep. And I'd be like, yep. I was like, nice talk.
I feel like a good therapist though, because I feel like now, because I've been in therapy for like, I'm not in therapy right now, but I've been through so many therapists. I feel like I go into each therapy session too self-aware, and I feel like the only time that I've had like a good therapist was like at FIU when I was like in a group therapy session, and she like challenged me in a way, because I've had so many other therapists that were like, oh, you're so self-aware, that's so good, and then they don't really have any other input. I feel like the only times that like I've had like good therapists is when they're like, oh, but like they kind of challenge you,
For sure.
or like they kind of like
put you in your place.
Yeah, they put you in your place, because I feel like my problem with therapy is that I'm like, oh, I know my problems and I know what I need to do, and it's like I'm outsmarting therapy, which is not the case at all.
I'm trying to win therapy today.
No, and that's literally it. Like, you're like, there's no point in trying to win therapy because it's all for you. But I feel like every time I go in, I'm like, I'm too fucking smart for this shit. Like, I got it. But like, no, like the only like good therapist that I've had has been like, no, like with like she's challenged me, and I feel like that's necessary.
Nah, I'm like my first therapist, Julia. She was the shit. I would like hide so
Shout out
much
to
from
Julia.
her, for real. And then like one day, like I just came and I was like, hey Julia, like how's your weekend? She's like, okay, like let's be honest. If you're not gonna talk, why the fuck are we here? I was like, whoa, Julia. I was like, shit, I don't know, why are we here? She's like, you tell me. And then I started taking therapy serious because she fucking scared me. But also she tried to like introduce me to mindfulness too early because I was like 16, and I would like close my eyes and she like put the guided meditation and I'd open them and I'd look at her and be like, stop this shit right now. And it's just so crazy how like my life turned out now. I'm like,
I saw a tweet recently. It was like, why are you lying? Wait, why are you paying to lie?
yeah.
Yes, I'm like, you retweeted that shit, because I was like, that popped up on my feed, and I was like,
yeah.
true, yeah. Bro,
True.
I've literally sat in silence
Me
with
too.
like my therapist, because like she was like, if you're not coming here to tell me anything, I'm not coming here to tell you anything. And we literally sat in
Oh,
silence for like 20
fuck.
minutes until I started crying, and I like it's shit like that where she was like, I'm not dealing with your bullshit, and I was just like, true. Like those were the sessions.
That's crazy. I couldn't even cry in front of my therapist. Like one tear would slip, she'd pass me the tissues, and I was like, I don't need that.
Oh my
And then
God.
she was
Are
like,
you
girl.
the
That's
first fucking like therapy
crazy.
session that I had at FIU, I literally cried because I just got over a breakup, and it was an intake session.
Oh my God.
And like the first question was like, are you happy? And I was like,
Oh, no.
I just broke up, and like I cried, and she was literally like an intern, and she was like, oh, okay, and she was like writing everything down, and she was just handing me the tissues, and I was like,
I'm done.
My therapist was probably like scared. Like, I just like the first session, I just like completely vented about everything in my life, and she's like, oh my God, like trying to write it all down, but I'm like telling her so many traumas, and she's like, hold up. And I'm like crying. She's like, what's going on, you know?
I just constantly make jokes, try to make my therapist laugh.
Oh no.
That's just something in my head that I'm like, if I make her crack a smile, then I'm gonna win.
It's
Bro.
fair. It's just the vibe. If you vibe with your therapist, you could do that.
Right, yeah.
It
My
was, like,
therapist.
pretty cool.
My therapist, when I don't cry, she's like, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, yeah.
literally every time, like, because I'm so emotional, like if I talk about anything like mildly like vulnerable,
Right.
I will cry. And so like I can't crack a joke with my therapist.
I
I
can't at
cannot,
all.
like, because I will start crying. Like she will just look at me and I'm like, I'm sorry.
She'll like look deeper into that joke. She'll be like,
So where is that coming from? And
Angelica just tells me, is like, oh, what are you trying to avoid with these jokes? And I'm like, damn, I don't know.
I'm done.
The chair is creaking.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped sitting in that chair.
That's
We got
fair.
those chairs at Goodwill.
We love Goodwill though.
We love good. We got all of our decorations from
Anyway,
Goodwill.
our next sponsor, Goodwill.
Yes.
You know, I have a question because I think we've all been, therapy. Have you guys ever discussed like being like a homosexual with your therapist? Because the first time I ever said that to my therapist, it was so funny. Like, God bless Veronica's heart, because I said some shit. I was like, I'm gay as fuck, and she's like, you're a lesbian, and I was like, no, she's. But like, I confused the fuck out of her. She anxious. She was like, I'm so sorry I didn't talk about this during our intake session. So like, what are you? And she said, what are you? And I was just like, damn, baby. Like, what is your experience? Because I made my therapist uncomfortable as fuck. I said I'm gay as fuck. And I was like, no, not like
shit.
that, but like.
It's a mindset. I'm gay as fucking
It's a
here.
mindset. I
Yeah.
gay as fucking here, but like,
In, like
Down
my,
here, no, but in here.
it's like a disconnect.
No, like for my first therapist, I just slipped it into the story. I was like, yeah, like my first love was this girl named
Ekis.
Ekis. And I just slipped it into combo. She was like, all right, cool. And then my second one, she like asked me, she was like, oh, like what's your preference? But bitch, I saw you on Tinder.
Wait, hold up. Yeah, I was about to ask. Your therapist. You saw your therapist on Tinder?
Did you
Yeah.
swipe right?
No, I swiped left. Like she was my therapist at the time too, so it's like I was gonna see her. So I was
You
like,
absolutely should have swiped right.
Fuck
Holy
no,
shit.
that's illegal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, because patient, like you can't
Yeah.
date your patient.
Yeah,
Oh,
confidentiality
true.
and shit. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yo, no, she asked me. So that was cool. She was also queer, obviously. And my last one, the girl that was awesome, but I don't remember her fucking name. I'm so sorry. Shout
Your
out
therapist?
to you. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you just got too many therapists. Sometimes you forget their names.
It just wasn't important. That was
Shit.
like a little hangout session before class. Like, I wasn't seeing a therapist. You know what I mean? She was also gay, and she was like married to a woman. But she told me, she told me at the end, like when I was already leaving, she was like, oh, like by the way, because like of the ring, she was like, I'm also gay, and I was like, ah.
Wait,
like,
she
I
could tell
fucking
by your
love
ring?
that.
Girl, yeah.
No,
What
because
kind of
she,
ring?
no. Like she was
ring.
like married, but I never asked. And then like one day she said her, and I was like, her? I was like, you need to
Una
tell me.
lesbiana. Oh.
I was like, you need to tell me you gay?
That's when you really connected with her.
Yeah, right.
No, and we were from Guatemala. We were both from Guatemala, so I was like, damn, like that's so crazy. And we're both gay.
If you're,
what
well,
were you
you don't
talking about? I'm just gonna.
Being gay with your
I mean, like, you
therapist.
don't-
Oh. I feel like it was never a topic that I brought up because it's just like
Other issues were
my
more
self
important.
identity is just gay, so I just like expect everyone to know that I'm already gay without me physically saying like, hey, I have a girlfriend. Like I just want you to like automatically know but not really point it out because I feel like it's not really important to know what my sexuality is. So yeah, when I brought it up to my therapist, she just like surprisingly didn't say a word about it. She just acted like super normal because it was like relationship problems, not like female or male specific, so it wasn't really relevant. Yeah.
I feel like it's like super cool because like the one time, like I've only ever mentioned it to one therapist and it was like this whole big thing, and I don't like explaining my sexuality at all. Like I literally
comfortable. Like
I have no label for
why
it.
do I have to explain who I love? It's just like it's weird.
Yeah, but then like the one time that I just mentioned it, she was like, wait. She was like, what?
Yeah,
Gay?
and I forget
I
that
was
other
like-
people are like weirded out by homophobia. Like no, not homophobia. People are
Yeah.
weirded out by gay people. So I'm thinking it's so normal because all my life growing up, it's like it's normal. So like when other people are not okay about it, I'm like that's fucking weird. Like
Have you like at work? Because I work with a bunch of straight people.
right.
Because I only hang out with like you, and you. This is my
right.
crew. I only hang out with them. It's like
Ride or die crew.
gay as fuck. Like
Gang
we just
shit.
say gay shit and nobody gives a fuck. But I'll say like one gay thing at work where like and everybody's like, "What did you say?
What did you say?
So-
Oh my god.
What did you say?" And I'm
You
just
lie with a woman? Stone to death.
yeah, literally. And I'm just like, "Oh fuck, I forgot that I'm not with Arusia, Bell, and Mirella." Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you?
I forget that there's a world that's like homophobic, racism. Like I forget that there's like murders going on. Like it's just like in my own bubble.
Yeah, it's weird to think that some people are so bothered by things that are so insignificant.
Exactly.
Like you can't imagine yourself being bothered by it. That you can't think that like, oh, there's a whole group of other people who are bothered by it. Like why? Why in the first place?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
And
I
feel
get
like
what you mean.
Florida is a very liberal state. I
It
feel
is.
like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
First
right.
of all,
South Florida.
let's-
South Florida. Yeah.
Let's unpack that real quick.
Yeah.
Even South Florida is iffy. You only got like 2 counties in South Florida.
Broward.
Yeah,
is-
Broward and the only 2 counties in South Florida are Broward and Miami-Dade. Those are like the only 2 that are blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where we stay. So
It's a bubble. It's a bubble. No, but I deadass forget that like the rest of the world is like is it,
Homophobic.
no, yeah, for real, because like I literally just be living my life. And I was telling Rusi this the other. I tell her all the time. I'm like I forget that people are straight.
Bro.
Like I literally assume that everybody is like a little bit gay.
gay
Until
proven.
gay until proven, and then I forget that for everybody else the opposite is true. That everybody assumes that like we're all straight and until proven otherwise, and that's so fucking weird to me. Yeah, it's weird. Like I feel like similarly, like I just feel like I live my life the way that I live it, and like I don't know, like people ask me questions and I'm like I really don't know what to tell you right now. Like it just is the way that it is. It's been like this.
True. Like I never thought about like coming out. That was never a thing for me. I was just gonna show up one day and be like, yeah, this is my person. And my mom used to ask me a lot in middle school, or like even in high school. She'd be like, "Are you like gay? Like all your friends are gay?" And I was like,
I'm dead. My
But it was-
dad
yeah.
used to ask me all the time. He used to take me to school every day, and he'd be like, are you a little bit? I'd be like wearing like a flannel to school, and he'd be like, "Are you usted un poquito, tú sabes?" And I'd be like, "No, papi, no."
For real.
Like, no, dad.
That's
TVT.
the first red flag, flannels.
Literally, and it's a reoccurring thing because I think it's so funny that like my parents ask me every year. It's like a yearly question.
Did it
like,
change
are
this
you
year? Like, are you like not gay this year?
and I'm
but,
just
are
like
you
the
straight now?
like you guys have been asking me this question since I was like 12. Like what what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to tell you.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
I'm dead. TBT too, or just TB. Throwback.
Throwback.
Yeah.
Not Thursday.
Not Tuesday.
Not Tuesday.
Just so when your mom said I looked
Days
a
of
little
time.
weird, so be careful with me.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
No, because
Whoa.
okay, because like I think it's different because like I feel like with the rest of the world I don't need to explain it. The only iffy thing that I've had is with my family because my family's like Latino as fuck and they're just super homophobic for lack of a better term. So it's like all my friends are gay. Literally, I don't have a straight friend.
Yeah.
I do not have one friend that I can say is 100% straight.
Yeah.
So when I was like 14 and like I found all my friends, my parents were like, "Oh, they're all gay? Like, what's up with that?" I'm like, "Ten cuidado." I'm like,
She's a little weird.
yeah.
Me, like with my heavy eyebrows, like
Bitch, I was like right there with her with like ripped jeans and like a flannel and like fucking boots in 90-degree weather. Like, how did they not know? You know?
Boots.
The signs were all there.
yeah. I'm like, okay, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
like
could do
went
that, yeah.
off topic.
No, like there is no topic. That's
There's
the
no
thing.
topic.
There-
Yeah,
there's no topic.
there's literally no topic. Me and Juli started this shit, and we're like, hey, like, guys, what's the topic of the day? And they're both like, yeah, we don't have one.
I
Freak.
need talking
Oh, wait.
I can't
Yeah.
function without talking points. It's been 47 minutes and I know I took up most of that. Like, I know I
Yo.
did. like,
Dead ass.
Not at all.
like, if you guys want to add commentary into that afterwards, go ahead, please.
I'm just roasting you.
No, I'm like, go ahead.
Look at this dumb bitch.
I'm glad you think that there's any sort of thought for post. That we actually try anything at all after we stop hitting
It's
record.
just upload.
I just
There's going to be a lot of
Expectations
editing
for a
in
reason.
this.
absolutely there's a lot of editing. I've been doing the editing lately.
Low expectations, but hard work behind it.
Low.
Why did it do that?
low expectations.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The camera just went like inward.
Then
Oh,
that means
it's
that it
off.
stopped recording. Anyways, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Alright, come back next week or whenever the fuck we meet up again.
Thank you guys for listening to the latest episode of Low Expectations Podcast.
Podcast.
You can follow us on Instagram at Low Expectations Pod. You can follow us on Twitter at LowXPod. And you could, if you're listening to us on iTunes, please give us a 5-star review, leave a comment, let us know where we can do better. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please subscribe, give us a like, and leave any comments of what you want to talk about. We'll 100% read it and we'll 100% mention it. Because you know what? Sometimes we don't have anything to the table and we
That's
bullshit
fair.
all the time. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. And let's
you to our
give
guests.
absolutely thank you to our first ever guests, Mirella and Juli.
Thank you.
Just creeping up
A
on the
very meek thank you.
Also, the ASMR.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go.
ASMR.
Thank you very much for listening.
So
Catch us next week. Mirella just stood up when we're 100% not done yet.
All right, guys. Have a nice night.
Have a wonderful night. Stay safe.
The video